Hello fellow simmers, it's Samuel Beeman of BLS here and welcome to my next Train Sim World 6 video. And today it's going to be a little bit more productive than the previous video where we was just reporting a bug, as we're actually going to be operating a locomotive within Train Sim World 6. And it's a DLC which is long overdue and something I've been needing to get for quite some time, and that is the Class 86. So if you wasn't aware, I actually did a video on the Class 87 in preparation for the 86's release. Unfortunately, I sort of missed the boat a little bit with the 86, as by the time it actually got released, I couldn't actually afford the DLC at the time, so I'm a little bit of a late bloomer, shall we say, with this one. But we've finally got there, and here is my overdue first look at the Class 86. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it and head on one of these journeys, which is called Starter Motor. So this is learning how to drive the Class 86/2 locomotive. Hopefully this time I'll actually, get used to it near enough straight away, and it's not like the Class 87 where I literally 2 seconds in the seat I blew the traction motors. Right, well, let's get into this.
This is the British Rail Class 86/2 locomotive in BR Corporate Blue livery. In this brief introduction, we will go through various procedures such as cab setup, passenger door operations, driving and stopping. You will need to enter the locomotive to get started. Head over there now, and why not take a closer look around the Class 86 along the way.
Well, already I can say, as per usual with Just Trains, a stunning looking model. Really smart. I mean, just look at this. You know, the texturing, the detail on it is just phenomenal. It really is. We've also got fully, modelled 3D nameplates as per the 87. And just, overall, this is looking incredibly smart, isn't it? Right. Well, it's asking us to climb aboard the locomotive now. So we'll get inside it and have a little look.
To activate this cab, you must lift up the change end lever. This must be activated always from the lead cab, otherwise you will not be able to take control of the locomotive.
Oh, well that's good then. This time, within this tutorial, they actually tell us to operate the change end lever, which is something that they missed out in the 87.
Sit in the driver's seat to continue the setup procedure.
Although they haven't...
Set the master key to activate the driver's desk.
Well, the AWS hasn't gone off. Oh well.
Headlights and markers are used to inform others around that this locomotive is active.
Unlock the doors. Okay, I literally... Yeah. This cab looks nice, doesn't it? And from what I know, this actually uses the Armstrong Powerhouse sounds from the Class 86 enhancement pack. We'll see as we get on the move.
The guard has given you the clearance for departure by giving you 2 audible beeps from the BSO guard's compartment. Acknowledge receipt of this by responding with 2 tones.
Well, he didn't do that. He literally didn't, but there you go.
Set the master switch to the forward position. To release the brakes, move and hold the train brake handle to the release overcharge position. Observe the brake gauge. Once the brakes are released, you can let go. The train brake will spring back into the running position.
Yeah, the brake needle's going up. There we go.
The carro controller is controlled by the notching lever, also known as a tap changer, which has 6 notches: off, run down, notch down, hold, notch up, and run up. Notch up is to be used for the gradual application of power when starting trains away, or to increase power by small amounts whilst running by moving the power controller to and fro between the hold and notch up position. The notch position can be increased one at a time over the whole of the notching range. During notching up, the traction motor ammeters should be observed to ensure the ammeter needles do not remain in the red sector for long periods and that they remain approximately level.
Yep. Yeah, just as I thought. Yeah, so what you don't want is you don't want our amps going into the red zone, which is the mistake I used. Well, what I did last time with the 87 was I made it go up into the red zone and I got myself a traction motor flashover. So,
Hold is used to retain the selected notch position once the desired speed has been attained. Run up is to be used to increase power rapidly when...
okay, he stopped talking there. I cut him out. I'll put it into hold. There you are, look, it says, even the driver assist says turn on AWS. Well, the thing didn't tell me to do that, did it? Horn's a bit quiet in the cab.
Reduce power one notch at a time by moving the power controller to and fro between hold and notch down positions. Each complete movement reduces the tap changer position by one notch. Run down is to be used to reduce power when the desired speed is attained, or to quickly reduce the notch position prior to moving the power controller to off. This avoids a sudden chopping off of power as the secondary and motor contact is open, which could produce drawbar shocks along the train. Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain a constant speed and reduces motor stress and maintenance requirements. Moving the power controller to off means the traction motor contactors are open, hence no power can reach the traction motors. The tap changer is also used to provide braking effort via the rheostatic brake, which uses the traction motors to brake the locomotive. This is done by turning the motors into generators, which convert the kinetic energy of the locomotive into electricity. This excess electricity is sent to a bank of resistors, which dissipates the energy in the form of heat. A set of blowers are provided below the resistors, which speed up in proportion to the strength of the rheostatic brake applied, resulting in the classic wailing sound whilst braking.
Ah, there is the whine. So yeah, it drives quite nicely. Obviously, you know, it's just a test track that we're on at the minute, so it's not actually, you know, what you consider a proper run. But from what it is so far, yeah, it's quite nice. The horn sound in the cab is a bit quiet though. I'm curious to hear what it's like on the outside. Yeah, not bad on the outside. It's too quiet on the inside though. I'm not sure if it's like the best horn I've heard in TSW. Well, I would say there's some better ones out there. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like the best mix, but Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. Wow. So it's saying stop at location station 1 platform. I thought this was the marker for the station, but evidently it isn't.
You are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force by moving the brakes into the braking range.
But I already did that, because I thought that marker was the station. Oh, for God's sake. Well, this is going to be a very slow entry into the station, isn't it? Oh, blimey, them brakes are good, aren't they?
Good work. That concludes the basics of this locomotive.
There we go. Not bad. Not a bad little drive to start off with. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start the next chapter in our journey of driving the Class 86, and we might actually get a little bit more of a look round of it. So I shall see you over there. Okay, so here we are, folks, with 1 Sierra 71 Penzance to Glasgow Central and Aberdeen. It says drive this passenger service from Preston to Carlisle. This is going to take about an hour, so I'm not going to do the entirety of the run, otherwise we'll be here for ages. But I suppose it's worth just having a look around the 86 and seeing what it's all about. Okay, so we're inside the 86. So what variant is this? Oh, it's a blue one. It's just standard average BR blue without a headlight. And this one is Sir Charles Halley, or Sir Charles Hale, something like that. But yeah, I mean, the model itself does look incredibly smart, doesn't it? And also, what I am going to do whilst we're here is remove some of my markers, because they're getting really annoying. So, we'll head over to General. Bear with me, guys. HUD and gameplay, here we go. So scenario markers off, stop marker off, objective marker, we'll keep that on. There we go. Just makes it look a bit more clean without all the stuff around. Let's have a look around. I know this is technically illegal, but I want to have a look at the model itself. I mean, just look at the, just look at the amount of detail that's been put into this. You know, the grease on the buffers. You know, just the nice hole there. You know, the 3D-ness. Just fantastic detail. Yeah, I've got to say, the model itself is very, very nice. Obviously, I'm not going to view all the liveries that come with the 86 in this video, because otherwise, you know, we'll be here for a little while. But it's just, you know, my first look at this. Obviously, this is the first time seeing it in the flesh, and yeah, it does look smart, doesn't it? Right, we'll get back on into the cab, because I want to, if I can. Hello? Is it going to... Got to find the right spot, have I, to get up the steps? There we go. Right, engine room. Now, is it going to do the same glitch as the 87, where if we walk through here, you hear the outside sounds on the inside? Do you want to abandon this now? It does do it. Oh, for God's sake, why do they do this? Why is the outside sounds playing when we're inside the engine room? That's really annoying. But yeah, here we are. This is the, well, engine room or train room. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, pretty much the same as the 87. Not really much difference here. In fact, I think the interior has been directly taken from the 87 and just plonked into the 86 and slightly modified. It's very, very similar, if not the same. Because, you know, we even had the tail lamps in the other section. So yeah, I'm going to hazard a guess. It's probably just a ever so slightly modded 87 engine room. Same design. But yeah, it's still really, really cool how you can do that. It's a shame you can't do it on all the locos in TSW, really, isn't it? Unlock the doors. Marker lights on. Master key on. Let's do a quick brake test while we're here. Looks like we've got pressure, that's good to see. Good. Got an achievement for using the loco brake, that's good. Alright. Does that mean if I press the wipers? Yeah. Okay, use window blades. Brilliant. Get rewards for using certain parts. How do the window blades operate? Got run. Oh, you got speed changing, that's good. Okay, off we go then. We're off. Let's see how we're looking. That does look pretty good, doesn't it? Especially in this lighting. Oh, I love that. The pantograph is dipping down. The pantograph is moving. That's brilliant. Yeah, I do like some of that. Instrument lights, we have those. Instrument lights bright, okay. They don't seem to be doing anything. Maybe because it's daytime, you can't really see it. sounds on the outside. Oh, them rail joint sounds are very nice on that. Yeah, I'm not huge on the horn. I mean, it sounds alright, but I don't know if it's as good as the TS Classic version. General motor sounds are very good though, and you've got that distinctive roar and scream of the 86 that they do, you know, that they did have. I'm also loving the moving pantograph. So, my initial thoughts on this is, yes, the model is very nice. Doesn't look incredibly smart. Obviously I'm not huge on my electrics usually, and they're not usually something that I, you know, rave over and really enjoy. But this isn't that bad, you know, this is old school electric. It seems entertaining and fun to drive, you know, you can have a lot of fun with this. I'm loving the suspension physics as well, like, you know, how it's just sort of bouncing up and down in the cab. That's, you know, a realistic sense of movement, which is really nice. Is it my favourite DLC? No, it's not. Obviously, you know, I suppose it helps, you know, personal preference as well. I prefer my diesels. But it's alright, you know, and I think for an electric loco enthusiast, somebody who likes their electrics, or, you know, just AC electrics in general and stuff like that, this is definitely a pack that's worth getting. You know, it's in total, I believe it's £25, or is it 20? It's 20 or £25. In fact, I will double check that now, just so I have the price in mind. And it does come with the 86, and it also comes with a set of Mk2f coaches as well, which we'll have a look at while we're here. Yeah, so in total it's £20. So for £20 you're getting a locomotive in a variety of different variants and liveries, and you're getting a bunch of coaches with it as well, so you know, it's not bad for the price. So these are the Mk2fs. Are looking rather good. What I should have done is had a look around these at the station. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to stop now, as this is an express service. So what I might do is, before I end off this video, is we'll have a little look around the coaches just so we've seen them, and then I'll end the video off there. But yeah, so you know, for £20 it's not too bad. Some stuff could use of improving, like the horn in the cab, for example, is far too quiet. You can barely hear it. It needs to be, you know, the audio is just, it needs raising. That needs to be louder. And the overall mixing of the exterior horn is not the best, in my opinion. But other than that, you know, in general, how the thing drives, how it operates, you know, the features on it, the nameplates, the modelling, as per usual by Just Trains, it is to high standards. So, I think I've had my thoughts on the 86, I've had a good look round it, I know what it's all about, and obviously I've said my thoughts and opinions on it. So I think from that respect we're gonna just forget this journey and have a look around the coaches and then off the video, really, because otherwise if I just carry on driving this journey, we're going to be here for a long time, and this is a review of the loco. It's not something that, you know, you'd want to sit here and spend an hour just watching this, because I'm sure that you guys would want to drive the route and loco yourself instead of watching somebody else drive on it. So yeah, moving on towards the end of the review, we'll head over to the coaches and I'll have a look at the coaches and share my thoughts on that. Okay folks, so here we are back at Preston again, and this time we've got a Intercity 86 with the sort of the yellow wraparounds, except this is the version where it doesn't have the stripe around the front, it's just the full yellow basically at the front here. I think there's about 3 different versions of Intercity 86 that you get with this, same with the 87s now because they've got all the liveries as well. But yeah, you can see the Intercity livery in action, which is just, you know, a nice little extra to the video really. And yeah, it looks very good. We've got all of the, you know, data panels all present and correct as they should be. We've got some weathering around the seals. You know, it is a smart looking thing. But obviously our main focus for the end of this video is to have a look around the coaches stock. And yeah, we have Mk2fs here, which are new. These are all new. Let's have a look inside. No, you're not coming in. I'm ever so sorry for that. But yeah, wow, look at this. So these are the Mk2fs. Okay. Not too sure about what this texturing is all about here. It looks like concrete slab texture. Yeah, that's a bit odd. Not really convinced by this. Looks like concrete slabs, it really does. Yeah, no. Not sure on that. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to just be, you know, I think maybe they're trying to like replicate. Well, just give up that journey. I think they're trying to replicate the, you know, the weatheredness, or, you know, it just, you know, weathering inside here, but it's not good. This is not like, you know, the way to do it really. The seats are looking quite nice though. Right, let's head down the train. And one of the things I'm really interested in having a look at is the Mark 1 buffet car, which is another real sort of, you know, focal point of the pack, I would say. You know, it's one that would, you know, draw people in to buy it. So we've got the 86. Obviously the Mk2fs are nice enough, but the next major attraction, bar the 86, is definitely the Mark 1 buffet, which we'll head to in just a minute while we head down the train, hopefully. This looks like it. Yes. Now this is very, very nice. We've got the sort of, you know, classic 1980s refurbed interior here on this Mark 1 coach, you know, with the new tabling, you know, the new tables. So obviously the original Mark 1's interior was sort of wooden texture. Well, this is sort of the, you know, the classic 1980s refurbished interior. It is looking very, very nice. This is much better than the Mark 2's actually. Yeah, this is really, really good. But we've got a bit of beer there. We've got a nice, is that a beer or a fizzy drink? Some sort of soda. And some crisps. And yeah, just look at this. This is brilliant. So we've got, you know, a proper buffet interior with, you know, we've got chocolate, crisps, orange and fizzy drinks. There's no beer here though by the looks of it, but I'm going to hazard a guess they didn't want to advertise alcohol in this game for kids who are playing it, or I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind it would be, but I'm going to hazard a guess something along those lines. And we've got some mineral water as well. We've got our sandwiches as well, ham and salad sandwiches. Look at that. We've got our pies. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's get a picture of this while we're here. This is really, really nice. Let's have a little look at the exterior model if I can. So can I sit down here, or, you know, the buffet car is full of people. We're stuck. We've got got no seats free in here, blimey. Busy train. Okay, in that case I'll just find a seat in a Mark II if I can. So we want to have a look at the exterior of the buffet car. We're on the move, so this is going to be quite tricky. Yeah, we've got our B4 bogies, I think they're called, and yeah, the model itself, RMB, is looking very, very nice, very tidy. I'm also liking the sort of foggy, mist kind of textures, sort of, you know, you can see the windows aren't entirely clean, and that's a really, really nice effect. Because obviously, you know, coach windows, especially on our heritage railways, I've seen it multiple times where they get really, really dirty, you know, with finger marks and all sorts of grime. So, you know, that's a nice touch that they've done that. And then we've got our general intercity Mk2f. Again, nice model, not bad. It's good to have these in game, you know, because they were very common in the 80s. So yeah, overall, they're not too bad. Obviously, this interior, I'm not overly convinced with the texturing, but the, as I say, Mark 1 buffet is definitely a win-win and something good to have. It would be nice to have this on the West Somerset Railway, to be fair, or something similar. So we've got, like, you know, we can have this experience on the Heritage Railway, you know, but who knows, you know, maybe someone come up with a PC mod to, you know, to add this in. A PC mod that I'd love to see actually for the West Somerset is a mixed traction gala, so you've got a mix between steam and diesel, and then maybe some, you know, variations of coaching stock. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that might happen one day. I'm hoping somebody will do it, who knows, but yeah. Anyhow, I think that's basically all that we have time for today. I think I pretty much covered everything with this 86 pack, apart from obviously all the liveries, but that can always be for another day. But yeah, overall, 86 for my first look review on it, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's, you know, it's definitely got an interest rate for those who like their electric locos. For me, it's obviously not my favourite DLC, but for £20 I think you're getting a decent amount of stuff for it. A realistic simulation of a AC electric and some really nice coaching stock. So for £20, yeah, you know what, it's not too bad. I think it's worth the money, and yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and once again, thank you Just Trains for bringing us yet another really good product for Train Sim World. So this has been Samuel Beeman of BLS on Train Sim World 6, and I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye for now.